So the episode this week is Rabbit. We're in the Thelma, Michigan. And the thing that I like about this episode the most is the fact that it has a storyline for each and every individual rabbit, and the overall episode has a storyline, which I've never seen in any rabbit hunt or any rabbit hunting episode or any YouTube video. Because, I mean, let's face it, no other hunting shows really do rabbit episodes like we do.
Yeah.
I mean, Steve Rinella did one. But you don't get the same kind of story as we put together. That's what I'm excited about.
It's easy to lose track of that because it's so hectic. There's so much going on. How do you put that together to make a,
Well, apparently you put it together really well, but if you try and put a sizzle reel together with good music, you just get lambasted by your friends.
You were right. That was really popping. K-pop.
It's just... Yeah, it does. Like Jeff said, it doesn't scream hunting.
Yeah.
And you think it's the best one we've made. I don't agree. I think there's been better ones.
Yeah. I would fully agree with that.
The episode itself, however...
The episode's awesome.
Yeah, the episode's pretty cool.
Yeah.
The action that's in it's awesome. But again, I think the storyline that's there and is the legit one. As many people know and can tell by watching us, we don't script anything. So it was just cool to see the storyline of each individual rabbit there, pieced together and done well. None of it being staged, all of it being legit, and then getting a few of them on camera, because those suckers, they're so fast, and they blend into everything, especially in the camera. Like, there's some, like one of the kill shots I shoot, and you definitely see, because there's moisture all over the, I don't know, the reeds, or like the tall
heather,
brown grass.
Yeah.
And you see the impact of the shot hit that like a blur almost because of the water droplets that you hit.
Is it the first one?
No, that one's pretty close. I hope you like that. That's about as good as it gets. Yeah. The first one. But that one in there, when it hit, like you plainly see where the shot went, but you don't see the rabbit at all.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And it's like, well, how's that happen?
I was worried because on most of our big, we have at least one good rabbit hunt every year, and usually there's snow, so you can see them better. They film better. There was no snow, and they blend right in. You can't even see them. You can't see them when you're hunting them. How the heck are you supposed to get them on camera?
The beginning of the show, we said too when we were in the car talking, I was like, the perfect rabbit hunting day is a random warm day that's very sunny and has snow on the ground. I go, it's the first cold day we've had in a while. It is no snow anywhere except for in some of the ditches and random in the woods, but not much snow at all.
Yeah, and no sun.
It was overcast. So
we still made it work.
We did well.
We
did. We got our limits, and we got a. I just think it's a good episode. Like the storyline, and there's a lot of humor in it too. That again is all pretty.
Yeah,
legit.
I was in that one, so.
That's why it was funny.
We had a lot of fun editing too.
Yeah, right.
I've never wanted to kill myself editing.
When we edited it the first time, and we didn't discover this, so we do all the proofing. I've got a 70-inch TV at my house that we plug into for the proofing part, because you want to see what it looks like on a TV. You do it on all the Macs and iMacs and all that stuff, and then you move it to there for the final proofing. The problem is, on the Macs and on my TV, echoes don't really show up much, if at all. So the problem was we rolled through the whole thing, exported it. The episode's 27 gigs.
Yeah.
We export it, send it to the network, everything like that, then upload it to a private YouTube link, just so we have it stored somewhere, so if we need to show something to somebody quick, we can. But we don't post the full episodes on YouTube itself to people. But anyhow, we look at it on there, and on the cell phone, it's clear as day. There's two bad echoes, and I was like, no.
Anytime that's happened, when I'm going through doing captions, because I don't see anything. All I can hear everyone talking, and then I'm typing it out. So you hear that, and I'm like, how in the world did they miss that?
Yeah.
Good God.
We listened to it again on the TV after we discovered it on the phones, and
still couldn't hear it.
Sounded fine.
Yes.
And then you're editing blind, because then we already had it all transferred over to the portable Mac that we plug into the TV. So now that's the one we're working on, because we are not about to transfer all the files back, and then Ryan editing the sound on an exported file apparently is harder.
Yeah, it was, without getting too technical, it was one of the most difficult audio things I've ever done as far as editing goes, because I had to take the final project, which means I can't move the sound around anymore because it's just one big
bar.
It's
one
been-
timeline.
It's been grouped together.
Yeah, it's been grouped together. So I had to cut out the audio, refind all the old audio, put that back in, then line it back up with the old one.
Make sure
I
the
can't
lips-
explain
Make sure
it.
it works
Yeah.
with the lips.
We
make sure-
record on external mics, so what happens is a lot of times when you do the lapel mics, we do it to its own SD card. And the reason why we do that is because we used to use the mics that would attach to cameras, and it would send a frequency to the camera, and it was a lapel mic that way that would record sound to the camera. The problem is, in remote areas or non-remote areas, or even worse, you could get interference. And if you got interference, then you don't have the sound from what happened.
Yeah.
And in a show that's a reality show where we're talking, you lose.
Yeah.
That's it. You can't use that at all now. It was happening too frequent, so then we went to this route. The problem with this one is now you have the sound for each individual person in its own clip. So me, you, Ray. So there's 3 sound separations right there. Then with those, you also want to use some of the actual camera sound that it picked up, because like when you're walking through the brush, you want like the
Leaves and the-
because if
yeah.
you don't, you'll end up having like this awkward like silence around you while you're talking, because the lapel mic doesn't pick up those things.
But
So-
then you do get a little bit of it, but just a little
Yeah,
bit,
and
and
it's
then
still
none, and then some, and then
Yeah.
none. It's like
Yeah. I spent a lot of time afterwards when I was fixing it making a lot of artificial noise. So like I would take little tiny snippets here and there of the camera audio where you could hear the leaves crunching, and like molding that together to make the footsteps work.
yeah.
of one, so a 4-second clip, making it into a 22-second clip in order to fill the thing, but not making it sound like it's just going like the same 4 seconds, because people will detect that.
And then that takes away from the story. Then all of a sudden you're out of, because you want to be immersed in it.
Right.
And as soon as there's something weird that's not natural, it's like, oh I'm watching a TV show. It's
Right.
not a.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and then for like the one person who just shows up for filming and cooking, like I could see why you would think that. I'm just kidding. But in front of Ryan, you say this. But yeah,
And in front of AJ, I'm sure he's listening.
yeah,
Hi,
live.
AJ.
Hi. He's not listening.
He's not listening.
He's on a beach in Tahiti.
Yeah.
So anyhow, yeah, I thought it was cool how it ended up coming together. So now it's all fixed and the final product's good and you'll love it. But the little things that go into video editing, it's not as simple as just recording and then the sound is good and then you just piece it together and then you send it on the way. Between the storyline, the preparation that goes into, which you've heard us play in episodes before, all of that into making something that happened real. Because the other thing is, we could stage everything and have somebody with a boom mic and then just be good to go all the time, and it would always be perfect. The problem is it wouldn't be real. And I think our audience likes us because we're real.
Yeah.
Well, you couldn't do that with a hunting show, because what are you going to have a rabbit in a box and like, okay, let him go now? Like
Right,
what?
right. Well, even so, you could just do what everyone else does and just voice over that part.
Yeah.
And then, or just play music over that part, and then, I mean, we're not going to do it, so it doesn't matter.
no,
But there's, go watch any other hunting show, and you'll see how it's done.
It's
But
it's painful.
or
to
if
watch.
if they don't stage it, then it's horrid, because it'll be like a guy in a tree stand whispering to the camera, and they have to put the words at the bottom, and it's
yeah, because all you can hear is
Or half the episodes, I'm just sitting on their porch chit chatting. Like,
yeah, I
I
know.
don't. Is this adding to
Sometimes you see
something?
the
Or
boom
what?
mic. Or they're like, hey, so we passed on that buck right there because it was only a 19 point, and we're looking for even 20s today. Like something that you've never seen in your life. It's like no realism whatsoever. Like no way would you ever see that deer in your home.
Recently, we've pulled out the boom mic just to kind of play with it and have fun with it and just test it out.
Well, it works for cooking, because for cooking we're in a staged environment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, out in the field, we've been using
Yeah,
it
but-
there. And Kyle's favorite thing to do, whenever he gets his hands on it, is just to walk around and shove it in people's face. Hold it up above his head.
Well, he's
and
doing
go,
the cliche thing, but he.
and it's his favorite thing. It's funny every time he does it.
It's like, for people that don't know what a boom mic is, it's a big long stick, and at the end of it is a fluffy, furry microphone, and it records really good sound. But it's funnier to just pump it in people's faces, because the pole's like 20 foot long, and you can poke them in the face. And
Don't
that's
see
what I
it
think.
coming until it's too late.
Exactly.
Yeah.